Hey everyone, my name's Abby and welcome to Brown and Bougie, the podcast about me, a brown girl living in a bougie world.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Brown and Bougie. Today I'm going to talk about the way brown parents treat their sons as compared to the way they treat their daughters. I feel that it's something that everyone should be talking about because personally, I don't really have any first-hand experience of this because I have a younger sister, so I don't really know how that feels. However, I feel brown parents have a very systematic way of treating their son as compared to their daughter, and thinking about why you think that's the way they were brought up. So to them, that makes sense. My kind of concerns are, I suppose, that now we're in a day and age where we've adapted Western cultures and women are more than what traditionally they were expected to be. If you throw it back many, many years ago, the men were the providers, right? The men were the people who used to go out early in the morning, work, provide for the family in the sense of money and food and things like that. And that's what their role was. And traditionally, women were supposed to be the people who had the kids, got married, cooked, cleaned, and did all the typical women kind of stuff, right? So that's the reason why this kind of difference in the way both genders were treated kind of came about, I suppose. But my concern is now that we've come to a point now where women are more. We are more than just sitting in the four walls of the house and cooking and cleaning. Women achieve more and we are better and bigger and things like that, right? So why do our parents still treat the sons differently to the daughters? More than anything, I have seen it happen. I've seen it happen with my friends, with my cousins, with any kind of Indian or Tamil household, whatever, where they do treat both genders differently and it's not fair and it's not really clear as to why they do that. I always feel like with my mum, for example, if I ask her something and I say, okay, why are you saying no? Or why are you doing this? She will just be like, that's just how it is. And I'm not criticizing anyone. I'm not criticizing my mum or any other parents in the world, but it's just sad to see that that still exists. Because why should a girl get treated differently just because she's a girl? The best example I'll always say is when a boy goes out, when a son goes out, he will be like, Mum, I'm going out. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. It doesn't matter who he's going out with. The parents aren't really that concerned because technically the guys are physically the stronger people and the guys are more strong-willed and things like that. But when a girl goes out, and I'm sure if you are a girl, you've 100% experienced this, where you will say, Mum, I'm going to go out. And Mum goes, who are you going with? Where are you going? What time are you coming back? Why are you going? How much do you need? Do you actually need to go? Etc., etc., etc. And it's very frustrating because I think for me, I get annoyed sometimes when my mum does that to me and I'm one of two girls. But it would only be much worse from my perspective, where if I had a brother and my mum was treating me differently to him just because he was the guy, that would piss me off a lot. And I'm sure a lot of people are feeling all kinds of way when it comes to situations like that. But in a situation like that, you've just got to understand why your parents do what they do. I want to just spread the word that even if you are a brother or even if you are a sister or whatever it is, you can make that difference. Like if you're a guy and you can see your sister purely getting treated differently because she is a girl, stand up for her. Say to your mum, like, it's fine, she's very strong or whatever it is, and just have faith in her. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. And as far as I'm concerned, if you think about it from a fear perspective, your parents are scared. They're scared because you don't know what's going to happen. You can leave your house and anything can happen to you. And I completely understand that. Like a lot of parents I know, especially Tamil ones and stuff from my experience, that I know loads of my girlfriends' parents don't know that they drink or they go clubbing or they do this or they do that because they know their parents will say no and they'll restrict them and things like that. But surely it's better for us to be open with our parents. I'm lucky enough personally that my mum's pretty okay and chilled with the fact that I go out and things like that. And obviously she always wants me to be safe, but the older I got, she kind of began to trust me. And I'm not saying that parents don't trust their kids, but it's just, why are you treating the daughter differently to the guy? Because surely every effectively bad thing that could happen to the girl could also happen to the guy, surely. We live in a day and age now that, even rape, it happens to guys too. Just because it's more commonly known in women doesn't mean it doesn't happen to guys, right? So it doesn't really make any sense to me, but I kind of do get it because that's just the way they were brought up. And I think for me, I'm more concerned that, okay, for us especially, there's a massive generation gap. It's huge because the way our parents were brought up was very different to the way that we were brought up. For me, it's what about the next generation? So I would be so sad to see that happen continuously for generations to come, where just because a girl was a girl, she's treated differently to a guy. Because there's a lot of things that obviously only girls can do, and there's a lot of things that only guys can do. But that doesn't make it right for us to treat the guy differently to the girl. Surely, if you are a parent, you should think that, actually my daughter's she's more prone to harm. So let me bring her up to be a really strong-minded, really strong girl who just fights for what she wants. So in a situation where she's at harm, she knows exactly how to react to it. Surely that's what parents should be doing, as opposed to just being like, no, you can't go out and your brother can. It's a very kind of systematic way, and they kind of go, no, you're a boy, so you're allowed to do this, and you're a girl, you're allowed to do this. And I don't think that's fair. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that every single parent does that. I have seen some of my colleagues, for example, they have a son and a daughter, and I've seen them not do that. I feel like the older generation really struggle with, because the concept of fear when they were back home is very different to the concept of fear here. I think the justification, the explanation, it's very, very different. So I think that's why they do what they do. So for me, I kind of, like I said, I don't have any first-hand experiences, and I'm really sorry if I've offended anybody or if someone feels like I've, been criticizing the way they were brought up or anything like that. And that's not what I'm trying to do. But it's just, for me, I just want to pass the message to people that you've got to stand up for each other. And especially if it's your sibling, please stand up for them, because that's not fair. And your parents, I know they don't do anything on purpose, and they don't do that to hurt you. For them, their priority is your happiness, your safety, and things like that. And if you don't know that, and you don't acknowledge that your parents do everything for you for good purposes, then you honestly need to think about the way you're thinking, because your parents do everything from the good part of themselves. But it's just the thing that sometimes the decisions that they make does hurt us. And, we do a lot. Majority of our generation, we respect our parents so much, and we respect older generation so much, that we wouldn't do something to hurt them. And even if we make a decision or we say something, we will think a couple of times before we do. But I think our parents will just say no and never give you an explanation as to why. So it's crappy. It's so crappy to see when a guy gets treated differently to the girl. But it needs to be changed. It needs to be something that we need to acknowledge, and we need to talk about, and we need to stand up. That's all it is. That's literally all it is. Do you know the worst bit is, I think, that it doesn't matter about the age. Even if the girl, I've always seen that if a girl is like even 6 years older than the guy still has the upper hand. And it's weird, because if you think, like with me and my sister, I know my mum, because I'm older, she did definitely give me the upper hand because I was older. But that's because we're both of the same sex. So that's a very, very different situation. But I've always found that even if the girl was, say, like 4, 5, 6 years older or whatever it was than the guy always still gets treated with the upper hand, let's just say. So yeah, it was just a thought that I had. I just kind of wanted to share it and see what you guys had to think and say about it. Please let me know what you think. Obviously DM me, comment, whatever you want. And I just really want to understand what your experiences are, or have you seen that happen? Because it'll be really interesting to know how varied the way parents do what they do is. And I think one thought I've always had in my head is you kind of learn from your own parents how to be good ones and bad ones. And it's weird because no parent wants to be a bad parent. For sure, no parent wants to be a bad parent. But sometimes they make decisions without thinking about what we want. And sometimes that's not fair, but they do that from a good place. So I think that's the only thing that gets our generation through the difficulty of trying to adapt to both cultures. So I think that's what I've always said to myself. So just food for thought. And please let me know, I mean, especially if you're a parent and you feel that, you disagree with me or you agree with me or whatever it was, I really do want to know, because I think it'll be really interesting to know. And I will do a podcast at some point in the future, just to kind of come back to this topic and just see what everyone has to think. So for sure, please do let me know what you think. And that's pretty much all I really had to say. Now it is time for my Tutida session, which is my tune of the day session. Today, the weather in London is absolutely stunning. London, England is literally living it up, and I'm absolutely loving it. I literally spent the whole of yesterday chilling in a beer garden with my colleagues from work. So it's been like 26 degrees for those who don't know. And I'm sorry if you're anywhere else in the world and I'm rubbing it in your face, but if you know about English weather, it's very unpredictable, and our summer tends to be quite wet and rainy. So when the weather is amazing here, everyone just acts like, you know, you might as well just go to the beach and chill. So I wanted to play a very summer tune. This song was one of those songs that it reminds me of my second year at university. I just want to get straight into it, I suppose. It's called Girlio Remix by Patoranking and Tiwa Savage. It's a banger. It's one of those songs that you literally have to blast. The bass on it is amazing, and it's very Caribbean vibes. I love Caribbean music. There's just something about it that just reminds me of summer, the beach, drinks, and just a really, really good time. So this is one of my favorite songs ever, to be honest, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Thanks again. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to my SoundCloud channel, and also follow me on Instagram at brownandbougie__. I hope you all have a great day wherever you are. I'm sending all the love, all the positive vibes, and stay smiling, stay you, and don't forget to tune in next time. See you soon. Bye.
Savage, ole, ole, see him still in my heart, away, Otumbe, surely, check out your wale, me love you very long, pass me your love like a ping pong, cause you ring my bell like a ding dong, oh, cause this love, ain't no go trouble no one, I know the feeling is strong, but you is a bandit, never love another like, go tell my friends them that he would die for me. Go tell my mama, go tell my papa that he would die for me. Go tell my friends them that he would die for me. Go tell my mama, go tell my papa that he would die for me. For so long I've been waiting, waiting for your love and your body, come take up the money, pretty baby, I'm a honey, we love you for a very long time. You love me when I get a dime.
Me won't give, when me give you this, you give me that. Me girl so real, she not a copycat. Baby, why it like that? Me love it when you giving me like that. Boomba, you are a blessing. You came into my life, no more stressing. Say the smile on your face seems impressing. Everything around you seems interesting. Do re mi fa sol la ti do. Take you anywhere you want go. Teach you everything you need to know. Show you that I love you so. Yali, for so long I've been waiting, waiting for your love and your body, come take up the money, pretty baby, I'm a honey, we love you for a very long time. You love me when I get a dime. Me won't give you anytime. Yali, me won't give you again.
Boy, you know that you drive me insane.
Tell me one take away your pen.
Take it away so I will never be the same.
Sugar your fire can cool.
Tiwa Savage is good for your soul.
Patoranking is a ruler.
And I can be your one and only Queen Sheba.
But tell me how because you're Paulina. Go ask me Angelina. Go ask about the seminar. Give me love for you than in a Medina. Take you down to Medina. Waiting for your love and your body, come take up the money, pretty baby, I'm a honey, we love you for a very long time. You love me when I get a dime. Me won't give you anytime. Yeah, baby, don't know if me love you so much. Me want take you every day to the church. Love you from the bottom of my heart, from the end to the start. You don't know what the ranking me there. What the ranking me there. Go tell them me say that. Me say that. Easy bro, easy bro, easy bro, easy bro, easy bro.